Hi Pisces, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your reading. So we are doing from the 16th of February through to the 22nd of February 2020. For the reading this week, we are using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, the Oracle of the Fairies for spiritual advice this week. Okay, now what I'm doing this week is I'm not doing a Celtic cross. I'm just going to do a 20 card reading. I'm reading each of the rows for the messages that Spirit's giving you this week, Pisces, and then I'm just going to scan the cards and see what intuitively comes together for me. Okay, so let's have a look. Universe Spirit, what are the messages that you have for Pisces this week in a 20 card reading? What's the messages that you have for Pisces this week in a 20 card reading? Show me. Alright, so it takes a little bit of time, Pisces, to lay the cards down. Well, not a lot of time. You can always skip it. Alright, you can always skip this bit if you're kind of sick of waiting for me. I'll see if I can timestamp it. I don't know. I'll see if I can timestamp when the reading actually begins. Okay. Okay, Pisces, let's have a look then. What do we see this week? What are the messages? The Two of Wands starts up, so it starts off the reading. So the Two of Wands is all about putting a plan into action. It's about taking charge of your destiny in a way, the Two of Wands is. You can see that this guy stands aloft a building, and he's just surveying things. He's just surveying the surveying the landscape. There's an opportunity for him to move in a direction now. He's a little bit afraid because he's standing beyond a border. Sometimes the Two of Wands is all about fear as well. It's about being fearful of going beyond our borders. But this is a card that indicates the need to take charge of one's life and start putting career, and I do feel that some of you guys, I think it's time to take charge. I think it's time to start looking at the opportunities that are ahead of you or that are behind you, because some of you guys cannot see an opportunity that's behind you. I also read directionally as well. So you can see the Ace of Cups is behind you there, Pisces, and there's an opportunity behind you. But some of you guys, it feels to me that the message is some of you guys are actually looking in the wrong direction. That's how it feels, because the cup is behind you, but you can't see it. You're still surveying the territory, but you can't see an opportunity that's right there. So some of you guys, it's worth looking at the opportunities that are being made available this week to you, because I actually think that they might be more closer than you think that they are. Some of you guys just aren't seeing them. Some of you guys may be feeling with the Two of Wands energy a little bit stuck, a little bit of a crossroads, because the Two of Wands is about being at a bit of a crossroads as well, Pisces. And I think that if some of you guys are feeling at a bit of a crossroads, I think the universe wants you to know that there are still opportunities around you, and they're closer to you than you actually think that they are. What else do we have here? Well, that's you, isn't it, Pisces? The High Priestess. That's your major card showing here. And the World Energy showing here. It's interesting. You've got two major Arcana cards showing here. Let's have a look at them. So the World card is all about the ending of a cycle. The High Priestess, I think that you need to use your intuition in order to end a cycle here. Because the High Priestess is the need to use one's intuition. Perhaps there is something now that needs to complete itself. Okay, I think that you guys need to kind of use your intuition in terms of ending a cycle. Because I do feel that some of you guys are looking for a direction, but you're at a bit of a crossroads. And some of you guys, it may be that you simply don't know that there's an opportunity behind you here. Maybe you're at a bit of a crossroads. There's an opportunity here that you simply cannot see. And you need to use your intuition in order to break the cycle with the World Energy showing here, or end this cycle with the World Energy. You've got the Devil card showing there as well. Now, it's funny because the Devil and the World card are very similar cards. They're both ruled by Saturn, okay, which is the planet of boundaries. They're both Capricorn cards as well. All right, and some of you guys are attached to the material. Some of you guys are kind of feeling kind of limited and like your potential for expansion is limited, because if you look at the Devil ruled by Capricorn and Saturn, I believe as well, this card is all about chains. Okay, this card is all about being limited, but it's also a card that says that we are actually, attached to our temptations, to our desires. It's a card about being kind of chained and entrapped by our, by the superficialities of life. So if you get the devil here, if you see there's a devil there, and you've got these two people here, these two people are very much enslaved by their desires for the superficial. And the same thing can be with the world energy showing here as well. The woman in the circle, Pisces, is actually entrapped by the superficial. So she is bounded, she's got these boundaries around her, but the limitations surrounded her are all about the earthly limitations. So this woman is really enslaved by the superficial and the earthly stuff, the clothes, the shoes, the money. And I think that it's a week about rising above that, because if you look at the High Priestess, we've got the High Priestess, the world, and the devil showing here. The High Priestess is not enslaved by any type of earthly stuff. She's not enslaved by the spiritual, by the material. She's enslaved to the spiritual. So now is a time really to elevate oneself. This week the universe is telling you, Pisces, that now is the time to try and elevate oneself from the worldly temptations, from the superficial limitations that you've imposed on yourself. Now is the time to elevate yourself from that. And that could be in anything, Pisces. Do you see what I mean? Like, for example, running with a group of people who only care about how how everybody looks. Running with a group of people who only care about how you look or how you dress or that type of thing. Is there more to life than just the physical appearance? Because the devil and the world energy are certainly cards that would indicate things about just only being interested in things like your clothing, your body, the way it looks to others, your face, your figure, that type of thing. And it's time, whatever the earthly attachments are that you're holding at the moment, sorry, that's my Amazon package just falling down there. Whatever the earthly attachments that you have here, Pisces, I feel that it's a week for rising above that with the High Priestess, and that's you. So it's a week for you rising above these energies here, okay? So this is really important this week, that you try and find time to rise above it. Because I think that whatever these earthly attachments are, Pisces, they're probably holding you down. They're probably holding you down, and they're actually probably stopping you from attaining that Ace of Cups, because you're not focusing on this Ace of Cups here. Ace of Cups is the help, it's the support, it's the love, it's the gift from Spirit. You're not actually focusing on that. You're just focusing outward. You're just surveying something else, but you're not actually seeing that there is love and there is help and there is support around you. And maybe in order to see that this week, Pisces, what you need to do is elevate yourself above the material and the earthly restrictions that you've imposed on yourself, which stop you from seeing that there is love, help, support from Spirit all around you. So I think that that is a really important thing for Pisces to focus on this week. What else have we got here? We've got a change card, which is the death energy showing here. I feel that there could be an ending coming in. It's connecting to a group or a job. So it could be that there's an ending coming in this week connected to a group of people that you're working with, or it could be a job that you're working in, Pisces, this week or going into the next couple of weeks showing here. With the Hangman energy being Pisces again, I think some of you guys are accepting this though, which is good, because I think that some of you guys with the Hangman, you're accepting that something now has to come to an end. So Pisces, it's funny how many major cards you've got. I think you've got the Moon, you've got High Priestess, you've got Hangman, you've got your Sport for Choice, man. But some of you guys, I think the message also is that you have to accept this week, or going into the next couple of weeks, the ending of a partnership here, or the ending of a job. For everything there is a season, all right, with this world energy showing here as well. So for everything there is a season, okay, and everything has a cycle where it begins and it ends. So it's time now as well for you, Pisces, to accept with the Hangman energy the ending of a partnership or a group, or maybe a working phase, or maybe this could be a relationship or something like that. It's time to accept that this is now coming to an end, showing up here. But there is a bright new beginning for Pisces coming in, okay, amidst the loss. And you will overcome the loss with the Sun and that Five of Cups energy showing there. You will get over it, you'll overcome it. All right, we'll do that again. You need to accept, Pisces, the ending of a partnership, whatever the partnership that is. Three of Coins energy. Usually it's a working partnership here, okay? You need to accept that, all right? But also know the universe is also telling you that even though this is coming to an end, okay, you will overcome the loss. You'll overcome it with the Sun and that Five of Cups energy showing there. There's a King of Coins, could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn around you. showing here. Some of you guys, it may be, because we've got this King of Coins energy, maybe somebody you're breaking up with, or maybe somebody in which there is a, I mean, this person could be quite dynamic with that Tower energy as well. So yeah, I'm seeing a very dynamic lover coming in. All right, so for some of you guys, the advice is also there is a man around you. Could be a woman as well. Kings and queens can read as either sex. But male, female, King of Coins, somebody who's quite a dynamic lover. I'm seeing a very dynamic lover coming in for some of you guys. And actually, Knight of Cups, this is you again. This is you again, Pisces. But this could actually be reading as a dynamic lover with the Tower and that Knight of Cups energy showing here. I think somebody's offering you a second chance. I don't think this Knight of Cups is you, Pisces, though I could read it as you. You've got 3 Pisces cards in here. High Priestess, Hangman, and the Knight of Cups. King of Coins. No, I think that this is not you, though. I'm not going to read this as you. I'm getting somebody who's suddenly offering you... I'm getting a King of Coins suddenly offering you a renewal with the Judgment energy. It might be somebody coming back wanting to start again in a relationship showing here. Okay. The Judgment energy. Some of you guys may be being, and again, oh my goodness, how many Pisces card? First Deacon in Pisces, the 8 of Cups, that's you. I think the advice is that you need to walk away from this with the 8 of Cups energy. Because I'm getting somebody here who suddenly wants to offer you a renewal with the Judgment energy. But it may be with the 8 of Cups that it's time for Pisces to step away from this. 2 people together, a king, empress and an emperor. Might be something to do with your parents, Pisces, showing up here. Got the emperor and the empress together. Might be something to do with parents showing here. It looks like it's a married couple to me, Emperor, Empress, and the Hierophant. So there's a married couple around you. It might be your parents, perhaps, showing here, or grandparents showing up here. Just trying to think what this is. I've not seen this combination before. Maybe there's a separation in the family. We've got a King of Swords and that 10 of Cups. Often when I see sword people with the, you know, like a 10 of Cups at home, it always reminds me of a separation or something like that. There may be somebody very close to you who's talking about maybe a separation in the family. Feels like some communications happening around a separation in the family, for example, showing here. Because whenever I see cards like the King of Swords, especially around a married couple, which this is, the Emperor, the Empress, and the Hierophant, it looks like these people are married. Feels to me like there's a separation, or there's talk of maybe a separation within the family showing here. Very interesting reading so far. Let's get this reading again for Pisces. Very interesting that we've got so many different energies showing up here on the reading for you. So the universe wants you to know that you're not seeing that there is a lot of help from spirit around you this week. All right. And I feel that some of you guys are so attached to the material. All right. For example, some of you guys might be going through problems with money, and you may be so attached to the problems on an earthly basis that you're dealing with money, which this world and the devil can be, that some of you guys aren't realizing actually that spirit is trying to help you here. All right. I feel that you need to rise above Pisces being the High Priestess. You definitely need to rise above this earthly energy, because this is spirit, High Priestess. So you need to tap into your spirit, Pisces, and rise above the energies of the devil and the world energy, because the devil and the world energy ruled by Saturn represents material and superficial boundaries that we impose on ourselves, and you need to kind of spiritually be able to tap into that spirit and rise above all of the earthly and the material and the superficial boundaries that you've placed on yourself, because you're not seeing that spirit is trying to help and support you. Some of you guys need to accept, I think, this week that a partnership may be coming to an end with the Death and the 3 of Coins energy showing here. But also know that your pain, your sadness will not be for long. You're going to overcome that with the Sun energy, all right? I feel that we've got somebody who's suddenly offering you a renewal, okay, with the Judgment energy, or a reconciliation with the Judgment energy. I think it's advised that Pisces basically turns its back on that, all right? I think it's advised that if somebody is coming in and they're saying, look, Pisces, let's get back together, or look, I want to offer you this, will you come back and do this? Then maybe the advice is for Pisces to let this go. It's time to let something go here, because that's you there. 8 of Cups is Pisces, first deacon in Pisces. It's time to let it go, Pisces. So if somebody's coming back to you and saying, look, I want you back, or I want us to do this again, or I'm offering you a job back, or something like that, maybe it's time just to let that go and move on to pastures new with the 8 of Cups. I've got somebody around you, a married couple. They've probably been married for years, being the Emperor and the Empress energy. It might be parents or an uncle and an aunt or something like that. I'm getting maybe some talk of something legal, or maybe some form of a divorce or something like that within the family. King of Swords and the 10 of Cups energy. If that's not the case, I've got somebody around, some of you Pisces people showing here. I mean, if the Emperor and the Empress isn't kind of like a, you know, like a family member, you know, a grandparent or a father and a mother, then maybe this is you. Maybe Pisces, you've been married to someone for a while. It may, if it's not divorce, then I feel that with this married couple, whoever they are, whether it's you and someone or someone you know, I think that the advice is with this married couple that there may be somebody else infiltrating their relationship as well. Because for me, the King of Swords, Queen of Swords and that 10 can be divorce. But also this could be just because he's just sitting there roguely inside of this situation. This person just sitting roguely there. It feels like if it's your marriage, or if it's someone that you know and it's their marriage showing up here, this married couple, if it's your marriage, their marriage, it does feel that the advice from the universe is that there is somebody who is trying to infiltrate the relationship here as well, that King of Swords and the 10 of Cups energy. Very interesting energies showing up here for the week. Let's just have a quick look and see if there's anything I can scan, any other messages that the universe wants you to know. Let's just have a look at these cards. They're really lovely cards, but they do tend to bloody well go all over the place. I might use some different cards for the next reading because they're very slippery, these are, and trying to keep them in order and stuff. I feel that this is a week for transformation and rebirth with those two cards as well. I think it's a week to focus on that transformation and rebirth. Okay, it feels like you're going to overcome some loss here. And once you've done that, it's time for transformation and rebirth. It's time to let go and to focus on a new path. Okay, so you also, Pisces, it's time to follow your heart. Okay, it's time to follow your heart, Pisces, with that Knight of Cups energy there. Time of transformation, rebirth, and a new path. So some of you guys, this week is a week for following your heart. It's a time for, with the Judgment energy, rebirth, transformation, and following a new path. Also this week, Pisces, it's a time for following your intuition, following your heart. You are being awakened to a new path, or you are being called with the Judgment energy to follow a new path with that 8 of Cups energy, especially if there's been a breakup with an individual here. So if this is all about a breakup with a King of Coins, it's time to follow your heart as well, Pisces. And you're being called with the Judgment energy to follow a new path, showing up here as well. Showing up here. And I feel that that could also play into what we spoke about at the beginning of the reading, where some of you guys cannot see that there is love around you from spirit because you are so tied to the physical and the material. And now it's time to tap into your spirit and rise above that energy with that High Priestess energy here, because you're simply not seeing the love that is around you. You're simply not seeing that. It's time to do that. I feel if there's been a breakup with someone, Pisces, I feel it's time, as I've mentioned, to accept it. Hangman, accept the ending of the partnership here. All right. And though you might be feeling sad with the 5 of Cups, it's time to look forward to new things, because it's going to be a really positive time for some of you guys coming in as well. Really, really lovely energies this week. Let's have a look at what the spiritual advice is. What's the spiritual advice you have for Pisces on this reading? What's the spiritual advice you have for Pisces on this reading? Yeah, there you go. It's talking about new beginnings. As we mentioned, there are new beginnings. You've got Judgment, you've got the 8 of Cups, you've got the 8 of Cups. Some of you guys are afraid of this new beginning. And also it's funny because that 2 of Wands, as I mentioned at the beginning of the reading, means being at a place of stalemate. Somebody doesn't want to go beyond their borders, and yet there's a new beginning right just there for you. You're so stuck You know, you're stuck within your walls with that devil and the world energy here. You need to tap into your spirit and rise above it. All right, so we've got all these new beginnings showing up here. The universe says, this fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. Okay, lovely. That is your reading for the week, guys. If you'd like a personal reading, click on the link in the comment section or at the end of the video. Take care. Bye-bye.